Morning YouTube. So I'm back. I've had a couple of weeks break. That wasn't the holiday, by the way. That was just, shall we just say, my friend, when she has to take a day off work or whatever, she calls it a mental health day. So let's just say I've had a mental health couple of weeks. So that's the best way to describe it. I just needed a break from it. So we're currently, I've missed out week 38 and 39, so we're currently on the start of week 40. And I would love to have said I've lost 40 kgs in 40 weeks, but alas, no. I've only got to 34.7 kgs loss, but it doesn't matter. You know, it's not a biggie. And I think 40 kgs in 40 weeks would be a little bit hard. Probably some people could do it possibly, but not me. So anyway, the numbers are, I have had a loss in the last couple of weeks. The first week I did put a bit of weight on because I did overeat a little bit because of situations. So since that week 37, when I last reported, I've had a loss now of 0.7 of a kg, which is about 1.5 pounds. So I currently weigh 67.2. That's a 34.7 kg loss, as I said, which is 76.5 pounds. So I'm getting there. I'm 14 and a half pounds, or no, 13 and a half pounds away from my 90 pound loss. And I'm 5.3 kgs away from my 40 kg loss. So, you know, I'll get there. I mean, I'm not envisaging getting there before the holiday, obviously, and I'm certainly not going to get there during the holiday, and so it's probably going to be a few more months now before I get down to that, that 40 kg loss. So that's okay. You know, I'm heading in the right direction. That's the main thing. You know, I did, like I say, I had a little bit of a increase in the first week that I didn't vlog, and I did have a bit of a blowout that week, but that's fine. It's no biggie, you know. I'm back on track now, and that's the main thing. So since I last spoke to you, what's happened? I had the Airbnb lady come round for the 3 days. That was very good. She come and she stayed, but she didn't actually leave the property very much. But in all fairness, she wasn't feeling very well, but she was a lovely lady. I enjoyed her company, and so that was really good. And then a few days after she came, I had another booking quite quickly after she came, of a couple of lads that I'd met in New Zealand, a German and a Canadian, and they were traveling around together, and so they just travelled in the same car, and they came along, and they stayed as well, which was really nice. They were lovely lads. It reminded me of having my boys home again, so gave them a lovely cooked breakfast in the morning. They really appreciated it. They gave me fabulous review, and so did the lady. She gave me a fabulous review as well. So sorry, my dog's chewing his feet. I'm just, Dexter, don't chew your feet. Checking on him. So it was really good. So yeah, I had a little bit of earnings from that because I was earning a 20% discount for the first couple of guests, and that was great. And I did learn from my experiences. So they were my first 2 experiences, and I learned a couple of things from both of them. One is I've put a time limit now on when I'm offering a cooked breakfast, because obviously I'm not going to be available all day just to cook a breakfast. So I put a time limit on that. So that was a learning thing. And also I've put a earlier checkout time, because I think that's a little bit easier. So because my whole day was getting tied up with various tasks and stuff, so I didn't want that. So, I've learned from those 2 experiences. I enjoyed the experiences, but I've learned from them. I also learned to increase my cost for staying, because the lady said, I am quite cheap for what I offer here. So I thought, well, I'll increase the offer, increase the price. So I did that. And also, the other thing I learned, I was offering our spa pool as an option for the people to go in, but I sort of feel that it's in an awkward position, and to expect people to stand out there and dry off before they track through the house is not really fair. So I decided that I've taken that option off the listing as well. So, because I don't want, obviously that's chlorinated water out there, and it could bleach the carpet, so I don't want people tracking through with wet feet. But my friend said, and this is a very good idea, to offer terry toweling slippers for people to use to walk through. And I thought, good idea, because that's the only reason I don't want the spa being used. There's no other reason from that, because we dose it with, the chlorine. So that could be another option put back on in the future when I can organise some sort of like unisex slippery things. So that was good. I've sort of blocked it out now for a little while because I've got just a couple of weeks before we go on holiday, so I don't really want to be dealing with that. Plus, we've had a little issue with the roof on the house, which we've got to get repaired. We're sort of sorting that out at the moment, and getting some repairs done internally, because it was made a little mark on the ceiling up here. So that's got to be sorted out, which we're in the process of doing. This is an insurance job, so that's all getting sorted. What else has happened? So that's about it, really. I did make a ketogenic meal yesterday. It wasn't very successful. My husband wasn't that keen on it. So what I did is I food processed a cauliflower, so I made like cauliflower rice, if you like, but it actually done it enough so it was more like the texture of couscous rather than rice. And my husband doesn't like couscous. I think it's the texture he doesn't like, so he didn't really like it. Anyway, I did it with some bacon, onion, some peppers, and some garlic. What else did I use? Some mushrooms, and I just all did it up like a stir fry. And it was okay. It was okay. I wouldn't probably do it again. Or if I did do it again, I'd try and get some sort of sauce to have with it, because it's really hard to get a low carb sauce. Most sauces got heaps of sugar and all that kind of stuff in them, which is really not good for us. So I need to sort of think about making my own sauce, and I'm not keen on cooking making sauces, but hey, and I only used half the cauliflower, so I've got half left. So tonight I'm going to try this other recipe that I saw on here. It's just 3 ingredients, and it's cauliflower, riced up cauliflower, some cheddar, grated cheddar cheese, and an egg, and you mix it all together, and then you put it on a tray with a non-stick baking paper on it, and you make circles out of it, and you sort of make they look a bit like hash browns, like round hash browns, and you bake them in the oven, and then you have them with some bacon and egg. Sounds perfect. I'm going to do that for tea tonight. So that's what I'm going to have tonight, and if it turns out successful, I'll take a picture and I'll upload it, and you can see what it looks like next week. So that'll be good. So I'm sat here with the fire in the background because literally autumn arrived overnight in New Zealand. It was like somebody flicked a switch, and it was more or less when our clocks went back as well. So we're in winter time now, so daylight saving time's finished. So it was like someone flicked a switch and whammo, autumn's here, and it's cold. And I'm finding, because I'm thinner, I'm really feeling the cold. My poor husband's like, it's not cold, it's not cold. And I'm like, yeah, it is cold. Let's light the fire. I'll put the heat pump on, and he doesn't like it too hot because he suffers with migraines, although I think they're not as bad as they used to be, because this ketogenic diet is definitely, in my opinion, helping him with his migraines. When you have too many carbs, I believe that it affects him migraine wise. So, but of course he's not on a diet. He doesn't need to lose weight, but he is forced to eat what I eat because that's all that's available. Oh, and there's one other thing that I really need to show you, and I was very excited about this. I'll just go and get it. So here it is. This is as rare as hen's teeth, believe me. Since I spoke to you last about this bread, which was 2 weeks ago, I must have looked in 15 different supermarkets in various places around, around this area. None of them has got this bread. It comes in, it goes out literally immediately. So we went in town yesterday in Christchurch, and we went into one of the Morehouse packing stations, which I know gets quite a decent stock of this bread because we've got a Facebook trend, that people let people know. And this is the ketogenic bread that I was talking to you about. And here it is. So you can see it's low carb keto bread made by Bakeworks. And I'm just looking at the back bit here. So for 2 slices of this bread, it's only, let me say, 0.7 grams of a carb. So literally less than 1 carb for 2 slices of this bread. Now, it's not a very large loaf of bread, as you can see. It's quite small, and it's obviously long life. I don't know what they make it with, but this is best before the 29th of April. So that's great. Once it's opened, it needs to be kept in the fridge in a sealed container or a sealed bag. And then, but basically, I can now have soup with some of this bread and not worry about the carbs. I can have sandwiches with this bread. I can even have cheese on toast. I really miss cheese on toast. So I'm really excited about having this bread. I mean, it's just going to be for me. I've got other breads that my husband can have, like lower carb bread, not as low as this obviously, but lower carbs than the normal bread you buy. He can have that, but this bread is purely for me because this bread was $10. A lot of money for a loaf of bread, but I justify it because I'm not going to have it that often. I'll probably make this last 2 weeks, so that's pretty good. So yeah, so very excited about getting a loaf of this bread. And I must tell my friend, actually, I would have got another one for me or for her, but this was the last one in the store. So yeah, I'm going to have to still keep an eye out for it and still get it because it can be frozen and it's got a long sell-by date on it. So that's really good. So yeah, and I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I'll just put up close to the camera so you can see what the nutritional information is. And probably, I don't know if you can see the ingredients, but anyway, but yeah, I'm super excited about this bread. Contains egg and nuts, so it's no good for people with a nut allergy, but I don't have a nut allergy. Very excited about that. So yes, other than that, the diet's going okay. There's some days I really struggle. There's days when I feel like I just want to eat carbs. It's like, especially this time of the year, now it's getting colder, sometimes I just want to have Marmite on toast. I can now and not worry about it. Less than a carb for a couple bits of Marmite on toast, we'll go with it. So I'm really happy about that. As long as I stick with below the 20 grams of carbs a day, I'll be fine. I'm not tracking it. I'm doing what they call lazy keto, so I'm not actually working out what my carb intake is, but I know it is less than 20 because, just based on that, I know cheese has got nothing in it, and because I'm mainly eating cheese, a bit of veggies, meat's very low in carbs and stuff like that, so I'm not, and apart from the yogurt, which really don't know what that is, but I know it's not high, I'm not eating that much, more than 20 grams of carbs. And if I do one day, it'll balance out the next. No big deal. Right, so I think that's all for now. So I'll catch up with you next week, which will be week 41. And fingers crossed for me that I lose some weight this week. I'd really like to get down to, 65 point something, even if it's 65.9 by the holiday. But who knows? I've got 3 weeks, so let's see how I go. Alright, so thanks for watching. Thanks for all the new subscribers, by the way. I hope this channel is what you want, because I think I got a lot of new subscribers because of Jason Fung, the video I put up about sugar, what it's doing to you. So I did say I was going to try and look for some more informative videos like that, and I really haven't done it. I've been completely lazy about that, so I will try and find some just short videos that will give you some explanation about what it's all about, the ketogenic diet. And yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching. Welcome new subscribers, and I'll catch up with you next week, week 41. Bye.